Morning. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, Judge. I'll apologize beforehand. We got a minor little construction project up the street. I think we'll make do. I think we will make do. Just remember to speak into your microphone. I want to welcome everybody for the August 15th Mason County Fiscal Court meeting. Can we get a roll call, Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir. Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Hearn?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. Next up on our agenda, I'd like to introduce some of our guests joining us today. We have Dr. Cheryl French and Miss Katie Parker. If you guys want to come forward, we'll discuss Roth Park, please.
I'm a Parker, so I have a few things to say.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name is Peggy Parker, and I'm here as first Vice President of the Mason Community Development. Robin Jones, who is our president, is unable to attend the meeting this morning. This year, Mason is 235. Mason was settled in 1788, and in 1988, for the bicentennial, members of the community volunteered their time and effort to start a celebration for the bicentennial. They had pig roast, they had a reenactment, a parade and a community dinner for the reenactment of the Founder's Journey, and they also had a big outdoor drama that year as part of the festivities. In 1989, my grandmother, Mary Roth Parker, donated the land that would ultimately become Roth Park. She requested that it be named for her brother, her late brother, James Roth, who was the Mason resident for his lifetime, farmer, and the president of the Bank of Mason. His father, incidentally, was Sanford Roth, who was also a banker, who nicknamed Mason the asparagus bed of Mason County. This is important. You'll understand. Ultimately, the Mason Community Development was founded. County Judge Executive Buddy Gollenstein helped us get the matching funds to build the shelter, and many people donated their time and energy into starting the park and the playground. The county paved the parking lot. We as an organization have taken care of James Roth Bicentennial Park and the gazebo for the county. The Mason Asparagus Festival, that's how it all comes back in, was our chief fundraising event for the park. With the proceeds from the festival, community members help install the newer playground equipment and maintain the park. Because of the popularity of the festival, the Mason Community Development, under a tenacious Robin Jones at the helm, convinced Oak Hill Bank to donate Cackler's Auction House, which also housed the Mason Negro School, and the land behind it in 2007. Judge Executive Buddy Gollenstein helped us get the federal grant, and with the county's assistance, the area was cleaned up and repurposed. We now have the Mason Volunteer Fire Department and Community Center. We also have the Mason Negro School. All are owned by the county, but we sought to maintain funding. The Mason Community Development has many, many, many members throughout its 35 years of existence. I can't begin to list all the names, but it's pretty much a who's who of Mason. All have worked tirelessly to fulfill the mission statement to make the community better. We've been aided all along with the help of County Judge Executive Billy Ross, Buddy Gollenstein, Joe Peffer, and now our current County Judge Executive Owen McNeil. Our last best night in Mason, in my opinion, occurred the Friday evening before the festival in 2013. Members of the fire department sold drinks. The streets were closed off. We had live music. We had food, and the whole community came that night It was magical. But shortly after that festival, we discovered that Duke Energy had come in and signed up secretly all these farms in Maze Lake for wind farms. Suddenly, we were a very splintered community. While Duke Energy was ultimately rejected by the county, the damage was done. That was our 17th Maze Lake Asparagus Festival, and it was our last. The county's continuous assistance, we maintain the park, the Maze Lake Volunteer Fire Department and Community Center, and the Maze Lake Negro School. And then solar popped up, and COVID, and more solar. Fundraising had always been a challenge. This year, after 20 plus years of volunteer work for the Maze Lake Community Development, Robin Jones, Annette Walters, Tommy Prince, Laura Doyle, and I realized that it is time for us to step down and retire. We are proud to leave an independent Maze Lake Volunteer Fire Department and Community Center. And we are proud to leave an independent Maze Lake Negro School. The Maze Lake Community Development has been paying many of their bills, though. We ask the county to work with these groups to take our name off the bills. As to James Rolfe Bicentennial Park, we leave a treasured community and county asset. We request that the county take over the electric, water, and garbage pickup, which is $50 a month for electric, $14 a month for water, and $13.87 per month for garbage. The Maze Lake Community Development is a 501c entity. We have voted to turn our 501c status over to Maze Lake Rosenwald Negro School as of September 11, 2023, when we have our final meeting. If there are no questions, I would like now to introduce you to Dr. Cheryl French as president of the Maze Lake Rosenwald Negro School. Welcome here.
Hello, thank you everybody. As Peggy has said, the Maze Lake Community Development has worked with the Rosenwald School since 2007. They've done a fantastic job. They've put in a lot of effort. If it weren't for them, we would not have this historical building. We intend to keep the same progress going on as we have in the past. There's basically a core of about 8 people who will be working to maintain the school. And hopefully we will keep seeking grants. We've received grants before under Robin, and also we've got some grants through the county. I think 2 years ago we got a $50,000 grant, and we still are seeking grants. We do have our yard sales, and we do have other events to help maintain the school. So right now I think we have about $9,000 in our account. So I don't think we would be a financial burden on the county. And I think with the new board, the old board put a lot of energy into the place, and everybody gets tired after a while. And we are hopeful that this new board, which will continue the 510c3 activities, will put more energy and look for more grants, so there won't be any type of burden on the community, and will still be a proud edifice that the community can use to attract tourists, and eventually have as a community center along with the fire hall. We're still hoping to have a satellite library out there one of these days, a museum for education, African American education in the area, and a museum for the Maze Lake area, and hopefully offices downstairs for the Maze Lake Fire Department or anyone who wants to rent an office. If there's any questions.
Thank you, or Cheryl, on the bills, and you've explained this to me, and I heard Peggy to come here today. I think that community development's not going to be able to pay the initial going forward, and so I urged her to come here. Are the bills for the Rosenwald School, or are they for the park? You told me, but I forget.
The community development has been paying garbage for the fire department, so we all kind of overlap. The county has been paying electric for the school, but we didn't even realize that until we were trying to figure out when we decided that it was time to dissolve. who was doing what. Now, when it comes to the park with the electric, once the community center was built, we haven't really rented the park out because people want to go for the air conditioning. So while the park, we've been paying for electric, vandalism has happened and most of the lights that are under the shelter have all been broken. So if the county wanted to save money, they could not have electricity. Inside, there are 2 bathrooms, but they are locked all the time unless someone rents the park. You can bring the garbage to my house and I'll pay for it. So that the park wouldn't add, I mean, you're helping with the mowing now. But I think it's easier for you guys to turn the water off and turn it back on than it is for a private person because there's expenses involved in that. That's your all's call on what to do with that. It's supposed to be closed at night, so therefore electricity is not such a great factor. But once the community center was built, everybody kind of went to the community center for events and rentals and that kind of stuff. But we've had the pig for the park, we've had picnic in the park, we've had so many events for the park to help maintain it over all these years. That's the part that, as my grandmother, I really hope that you all continue to take care of the park. And it is a valuable asset to the community.
Judge and Commissioners, I told you I suggested that Peggy be here, and the only thing I've got to say as county attorney is you own both properties, you can, or really all 3 properties, and you can lend your pay expenses for any properties you own. As a legal matter, you can pay these. You haven't been paying them all in the past, but you can. I said that's as county attorney. As citizen of Basilick, not for the first 200 years, but the last 35 years of that history, I want to thank Commissioner Walters, Tommy Prince, Cheryl as she returned home, but particularly all these projects, some vision of Judge Donaldson and just sheer will of Peggy and Robin Jones. And I think that fiscal court first should take a vote, just refuse to let you retire from these community activities. but if they won't do that or you refuse to keep on, I think they need to support your efforts and what y'all done up there. And I think it's a really blueprint, which would be nice for some of our other communities to start some things and provide some assets in the community. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I mirror those comments as well for the whole team, as well as Ms. Jones, who could have joined us here today. I think Rock Park, I think the Rosenwald School, I think all of them are assets to Mason County and specifically to Mason. For the commissioners, I think, and let me know if I drill this down too simplistically, the ask is that the county take over electric and the utilities for the park and for the Rosenwald, correct?
Or we have our own funds.
Sure. I know that, last year Tammy and her insurance company dedicated some funds for a cleanup out of the park, and I've spoken with her, and I don't want to speak for her and her team, but I think those same funds are geared towards the park again this year. We have consistently been assisting with the mowing of the park out there. I would mirror Dr. French, and we've had discussions with Mason County Library and some of the library board members about, exploring potential uses for the Rosenwald School out there, and their assets in that part of the county. Thoughts, Commissioner?
I think it's obvious the benefits to all of these facilities to the community. families together. And, you know, I was interested listening about the electric bill. I mean, is that something we need to, I know it doesn't get used as much with the community center now. I mean, as far as that, I mean, we could probably cut that, I guess, is the way it sounds. If it's not used at nighttime, it's closed at nighttime. I don't know if it's secured or not, but I mean, I hate there's definite assets and benefits to the community to keep that going. Sure.
I would hate to see all your hard work anyway.
And I know we replace a lot of not gym equipment, what do you call it, kids playground, like the seesaw, stuff like that. So, I mean, it's in pretty good shape. Yes.
Yeah, I did mention to Peggy, just so everybody in the community knows, you know, when the county's maintaining the park, it may not be up to the standards of what Peggy would have, so, you know, hopefully Tammy White and the Woodman folks or other community groups can do spruce ups, but, I mean, you're gonna mow and maintain, but it's not gonna, it has prioritization of expenditure, sort of like competing with all the county properties.
Yep.
So if the community can continue to have projects to spruce up and that sort of thing, I think that's necessary.
So I believe we would want a motion to take over ongoing utility expenses.
So I thought this was great. I'll make a motion.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yes, vandalism. How would you suggest we take a look at that? You mentioned vandalism on the lights. I mean, any
Well-
suggestions or comments on that?
They were broken some time ago.
Oh, okay.
It used to be in the field next to the park, which is our farm, that there was football. I mean, people just threw bottles and everything. That has gotten much better. I know that there are a few dogs in Mason that have been creating problems. Laura Doyle took her grandchild one time, and they got chased up to the upper levels of the thing because there were dogs. So it is a very hard area to police.
Right.
There's not supposed to be any traffic on the walkway, but somebody in Mason right now has a recreational vehicle that they've ridden on the farm before. Like totally uncool. I don't know how to police it. But before you cancel all the utilities or whatever, I would suggest that you do a study to see because once you turn it off, it's a lot to get it all turned back on to do a little figuring and see what is worth it. The bathrooms are locked right now. So we had a refrigerator in the center part, but it was originally built, according to Keith Ross, to expand. So that's why there's like a roll-up window and this kind of stuff. Everything got built in the community center, so everything kind of moved away from that. But there are a lot of people in Mays Lake that play in the park. So I want it to keep going. Personally.
So we have a motion, we have a second. Is there any further discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Harden,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frank,
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil.
Yes, ma'am. And again, we'd like to, court would like to thank Peggy, Cheryl, Annette, Ms. Jones, the whole team, for everything you've done. Thank you. Commissioners, in your packet, you will see the minutes from the July 11th, 2023 regular meeting of the Mason County Fiscal Court. Looking for a motion to approve said minutes.
So moved.
Got a motion?
I'll second, but I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
On the introduction of guests, Stephanie, Judge Stephanie McNeil, several guests, I think you won't recognize there or something.
I can do that.
Second, any additional discussion, additions or deletions? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Hurd?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frank? Yes, ma'am. Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. Also, in your packet, you will see the meeting minutes for the July 21st, 2023 special call meeting. Which will motion to approve those.
Motion.
Second. Got a motion and second. Are there any additions, deletions, or comments? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Hurd?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frank? Yes, ma'am. Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. So, Commissioners, also in your packet, you will see the reapportionment reading. I will turn it over to County Clerk Stephanie Schumacher and County Attorney Estel for an overview.
First of all, and I'll leave all the answering questions or explanations to the